I'm Emil Niazi, sitting in for Elamin Abdelmahmoud. This is Commotion. Okay, so it sounds like a movie, right? Thieves used a cherry picker to scale the Louvre in broad daylight. They slipped through a window, smashed display cases, and escaped on motorbikes with 8 priceless pieces from France's collection of crown jewels. But it's real and it's happening right now, and a massive manhunt is underway to catch the thieves. Karen K. Ho is here with the latest on the art heist that has captured the imagination of the world. Karen, let's talk about this and kind of the weird pop culture undertones of this heist. Catch us up here. What do we know about how these thieves pulled this off in less than 10 minutes?
It's all about this electric ladder that's used to move furniture. You know, I think there's a joke that you can get into anywhere if you look like you're in construction and you're bringing a ladder with you. It's literally a scene in pop culture. And that's exactly what happened here. It was a really, really crucial component to how this worldwide story took place.
And so what exactly did they steal, and why are these jewels so important to France?
So they stole 8 items. They're known as the crown jewels in France. They were in something called the Apollo Gallery, which features all these super ornate royal objects that were associated with the royal family, right? And Napoleon and his first and second wife. They included tiaras, jeweled brooches, beautiful diamond and emerald and sapphire earrings and necklaces. And we're talking about like thousands of diamonds on these objects and, hundreds of pearls and really significant cultural and historical objects as well.
And one of the crowns broke, right? That's what I heard. Like it smashed on the way out.
Yeah, one of the thieves dropped it. It was so they were successful in stealing 8 items, but one of the items was intercepted by the security guards while they were fleeing and getting away on the 2 scooters.
It's such a wild story. It kind of, as a kid growing up in the 90s, this reminds me of the show Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Those thieves would steal the crown jewels all the time. But a lot of people are saying this reminds them of a show called Lupin, and that the thieves seem to be taking notes from fictionalized art heists that we've seen over the years. The mayor of Central Paris, Ariel Vale, called it a film script. Let's listen to a little clip from the show Lupin that people are bringing up.
I'm a janitor at the Louvre. The artwork that I clean, they're worth millions. Next Friday, our foundation will put a necklace up for auction. The necklace belonged to Marie Antoinette. We're gonna steal it. Go in as janitors and come out millionaires. Any questions?
I mean, I have a lot of questions, frankly, about how you're going to pull that off. But that is a dubbed version of the trailer for the first season of Netflix's Lupin, which is based on a series of novels. And here's the director, Jean-Michel Ribes, being interviewed on a French news show yesterday.
Il y a un côté Arsène Lupin qui va arriver. Il y a un côté, on va faire un film, c'est sûr. Et ça,
miser sur une série, potentiellement.
Il faut quand même reconnaître qu'il y a une créativité assez étonnante.
Okay, so that's the French director, Jean-Michel Ribes, admiring the thieves' creativity. He predicts this heist will be turned into a movie and brings up Lupin. Karen, why does this show Lupin keep coming into the conversation so often?
So the pilot features the Louvre, right? Like the very first episode. And it was incredibly popular. We're talking like a worldwide hit for Netflix when it came out, and millions of people watched it. And I think there was this fascination with the show because so many people visit the Louvre every year and so many people understand. I mean, you see, I think in the first couple of seconds of the show, you see that iconic view of the janitor or the fake janitor looking at the Mona Lisa. And my mother and I have stood in that queue, right? Like everybody has a memory of going to that museum if you visit Paris. That's among the top 3 things that everybody's recommended to do. And then millions of people watch that show. So when they think about that, it's sort of like the Thomas Crown affair or all these other pop culture references. And it's so recent, right? It's such a visual memory for so many people when they heard this story on the news on Sunday and yesterday.
Yeah, it makes you think the Louvre shouldn't be so easy to break into. Maybe they should look at tightening their security. You mentioned the Thomas Crown affair. You also imagine Ocean's 11 and all of those sequels. Why is this sort of heist trope dramatized so often? What do we love about the heist?
It's about inequality and power. I mean, people really think about the trope of a museum and how you can get so close to these incredibly valuable and rare and historic objects, but they are protected, or they are owned and on loan from super rich people, or they were also stolen, or the effect of colonization, right? Like a lot of times I covered what happened at the British Museum, and everyone said there were so many jokes about that and that institution talking about how it was the best place for some of these historical objects. And so I really think, the French did a lot of damage around the world. There's sort of this like karmic kind of idea in terms of the theft of these jewels and the proceeds of that colonization. And then there's also the Robin Hood-esque aspect, right? That these jewels and the value of these jewels, do they really belong to the French and the French government, with how they were able to be purchased or produced? And so I think about that a lot. And it's also just the idea of someone normal or down on their luck being able to access the wealth that is inherent in these heist movies, I think is really, really captivating.
Right. We always root for the underdog, if you can call French thieves the underdog. Police said if they don't recover the jewels within 48 hours, they're probably gone forever. Karen, you've covered a lot of art crime over the years. What do you think about their odds here?
I really agree, because some of these diamonds were significant in size. There is a huge race right now to recover this before those diamonds are cut down so that they can't be traced back, or, so that they're more easily sold or redistributed. Then I've seen this great term in the reporting so far called commodity theft. So this robbery was really about not the inherent historical or financial value of these jewels, but really about the raw materials, right? The diamonds, the metals, and either melting down those metals or, selling off those pieces to get the quickest value rather than the most value for in aggregate, because keeping them together would be the most valuable thing of all. But in the black market, that would make them susceptible to being caught.
Right. So interesting. Well, Karen, I really appreciate you being on the show and chatting with us about this.
Thank you so much for having me, and go Blue Jays!
And go Jays! Okay, Karen Cahoe covers art and business. She's a Canadian based in New York City. And that's it for the podcast today. I'm Emil Niazi, sitting in for Elamin Abdelmahmoud. Go Jays, go. Thanks for listening.